Have you ever surfaced from a dive wondering why your photos look nothing like what you saw underwater? That was me. I'll never forget the first time I got an underwater camera. I was so excited to use it. My husband and I just bought and started up a scuba diving business here in Gordons Bay where we live. I jumped in the water and I turned the camera on and I had absolutely no idea what I was supposed to be doing. So I came back and I sat down. I was so excited to see my pictures, and I downloaded my photos onto my computer, and I just felt a sense of huge disappointment. They were blurry, they were blue, they were green, they were out of focus, and it really did not reflect the beauty that we have here, the beauty that I'd seen underwater. But I was determined that I was not going to let this get me down, and I got every single book that I could find on underwater photography, because there were so many different settings and I had no idea what to use. There was M, there was TV, there was A mode, and it was just like Greek and hieroglyphics. So I was determined to learn exactly how to use my camera so that I could take photos of the beautiful world that we have here. And it took me a while to understand all the settings, but once I understood how to set up my camera, and I understood the foundations of underwater photography, what aperture, ISO, and shutter speed were. Once I understood those and how to use them underwater, I went into the water and practiced and practiced and practiced, using the different settings and remembering everything that I'd learned in all the books that I'd read. It all started to fall into place. And my photos started to be crisp, and they weren't blurry anymore, and they actually started to show the beautiful underwater world that we do have here. Eventually, I felt that right now was time to start adding a little bit more brightness and light to the scene, because I went on a very deep dive. It was down to 24 meters and we had absolutely no light. And all that a photograph is capturing light on your camera sensor. And because we were so deep, there wasn't enough light to create a picture on my sensor. So when I bought my camera, I had bought a strobe. Now a strobe is like a flash. So it fires when you press the button of your camera and it lights up everything that's close enough to you to light it. And so I'd been too scared to use it because it felt so bulky. So I decided, right, now I've got there's no turning back. I have no choice. If I want to take photos deeper, where there is no sunlight, I'm going to have to use a strobe. So I took the plunge and I put my strobe on my camera and down I went to 25 meters, and I turned on my camera and I started taking pictures, and I realized what I'd been missing. Just by adding the strobe, brought back vibrant colors to my pictures. It showed the detail and the clarity of the beautiful marine life that we have here. And I realized that it was so important to use a strobe. And eventually some of my friends started to see my photos and they bought cameras too. And they were in exactly the same position that I'd first been in. They had no idea how to set up their cameras. And they'd come to me at the beginning of a dive and they'd say, "Kate, can you please set up my camera for me?" So I'd set up their cameras and they'd go diving and they'd come back and they'd have these beautiful pictures. And they were so pleased and so excited that they were able to capture those pictures. But it was me that was helping them. And unfortunately, I went on holiday. I went to the Red Sea. We took a dive trip there and they had no idea how to set up their cameras. So when I came back, they said to me, "Kate, our photos are rubbish. We don't know what we're doing." So I said, "Okay, I'm going to teach you how to use your cameras so that you don't need to rely on me anymore." I wrote a course and I took them through the course, and it was really the foundation of what I'd learned all packed into one. It was learning the basics, the ISO, shutter speed and aperture and what they did. Then I taught them how to use their strobes. And then I taught them all the different types of composition that you can use to take really great photos underwater. And it kind of blossomed from there. The joy that I got from seeing the excitement that they had been able to set up their cameras and go out and take photos and come back with pictures that they were proud of. I just felt this amazing feeling of fulfillment and excitement that people were now able to capture the pictures like I was able to do in a much easier way because they understood how to use their cameras. This is where my passion lies, and that's where my underwater photography training has started and it has progressed and blossomed since then. Not only do I teach my courses online now, I get invited to go to speak on stages around the world and talk about underwater photography. I also get invited quite often to be judges on international underwater photography competitions. Just from learning about how to use my camera to teaching other people and to being able to share that internationally has been absolutely amazing. And I want to help other people learn to use their cameras with confidence so that they can share the beauty of the underwater world with everybody else. Subscribe for simple tips for stunning underwater shots.